Alright everyone, welcome back to another episode of the F123 Driver Crown with Haas, episode number 7 today for the Canadian Grand Prix. If you missed the previous episode of the Spanish Grand Prix, I recommend you go and check that one out because, spoiler, the strategy backfired there. We tried doing medium soft, a little bit iffy with what was going on with the tyre wear. But as a result, we've lost out to Fernando Alonso. He now has a 6-point lead on us, but we're still ahead. Thanks to Kevin. It's good work as well. We're looking to try and Kevin needs to bounce back really after a good result the previous race and back over him, not so much for me. Now R&D wise, we're not really able to do much. Yeah, it's a little bit frustrating that we can't really do much. We're going to put a minor fuel efficiency upgrade on, just to help us out, although fuel hasn't been an issue. Just checking there's anything ridiculously off in the durability department, which not yet. A couple of races probably will be, but we wait for this episode. Finally, that drag reduction wing mirrors one is finally available, and that allows us to unlock this one, which pretty much is holding back the entire aero side at the moment. So that's going to unlock 3. We're just going to purchase it in bulk, not decide to just not rush it in. So it will come in for Britain a little bit later on, but I think we've got enough in a straight line for now to be able to defend against everyone else. Now the team are asking me a department event, as you can see on screen now. I don't know why they've asked me, because I'm a driver. I get in my team, but in driver mode they should not be asking stuff like that. And we go with the lower ticket items anyway. We're also going to look a minor ERS upgrade. We don't have Spec 2 on the engine facilities, so that potentially could hinder us, but we've got that first ERS upgrade of the season. Well, we've got the fastest engine anyway, so it's not a bit of an issue at this moment. But yeah, those are the 2 upgrades we've got, and it's propelled us towards Mercedes. We haven't brought an upgrade since Baku. Mercedes a flat line where everyone else has made. I mean, Red Bull are sort of steadily upgraded, but obviously they are obviously got that huge advantage anyway. Ferrari and Aston Martin making progress here, so Mercedes lagging behind. We'll have to wait and see next week where we can overtake them potentially at the Austrian Grand Prix. But yes, to Canada then. Mixed results here on F122, so I'm interested to see what can be done. A lot of people think the final turn has been reprofiled. I don't personally think it has been reprofiled actually. For me it just feels the same, but compared to that initial thought. Now in qualifying, my fastest lap you can see is this lap here. It's the 3rd lap. It's not the best lap that I could have done, obviously because I'm on the 3rd lap of a set of soft tyres as well. But there's rain on the way. Rain that wasn't forecasted as well. I should point out there was nothing in the forecast at all about any rain. But nevertheless, it is coming for this qualifying session. So, we're going to finish this lap. If I had been slow on this lap, then I would have boxed and put a new soft straight away. As well, but as it happens, we are up on this line. We made up a huge amount of time through that corner. Always a horrible corner for me personally. We're slightly up on Sonoda. He's ahead of George Russell at this moment. A horrible hairpin there. Always, I can never get that hairpin right. On a pad, you will never hit the apex. That's just how the F1 game is, unfortunately. As we're now on the backstroke, we've got a little bit of a toe from the Alfa Romeo in front. Almost a tenth and a half up on a previous best time. He's going to start a lap. We're going to, take the right hand side, which is the shortest line. This is what you see in real life, and that puts us P7 ahead of both Astons as well. that's huge for the championship as well. We're behind Esti Besti though in 6th place. So yeah, but the two, the top 4 separated by 2/10. Nothing really happened after that. The rain came, so Russell really not having a good time of it in this particular episode. He starts P14. The 2 McLarens, they were our rivals at the start of this season, but McLaren have gone off the boil now. Piastri scored that 10th place, but that it's going to be tough for them to score points from there in 16th and 17th. Well, for us, we've got a good chance of getting some decent points. Outscoring Aston Martin. Hopefully Kevin can make some ground up, so we'll see what we can do. It's time for the race.
We're back once again beside the St. Lawrence River here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. The event first moved to a variant of this track back in 1978. It was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed. It's a 2.7 mile circuit, peaking at around 190 miles per hour. It's basically a series of chicanes and hairpins. We do have DRS zones, officially 14 turns, tight corners, and a real challenge for the drivers. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position. A very happy Carlos Sainz will start second. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Perez, Hamilton, Ocon, Phoenix, Stroll, Gasly, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Zhou, Fernando Alonso, Russell, Bottas, Oscar Piastri, Norris, Albon, Sargent, and Nick de Vries. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. With me today, of course, is Natalie Pinkham. Let's talk about Phoenix. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within the team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do. And that has definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
After the points finished last race, let's aim to keep that momentum going.
Thanks, Mark. Race strategy is an interesting one because we're given this hard medium or medium soft medium. Now, I'm kind of thinking that the alternate strategy, no, absolutely not. So what I'm going to change this one up and remove that second medium stint, and you can see there's 3 seconds worth of timing. But if I just adjust this slightly to see 17, and then of course this get me thinking, well, this one's not optimized, so I optimize it to give me a third of. It is slightly faster starting on the hard, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to start on the hard tyres and go to the mediums at the end of the race. See what kind of pace we've got in the second half of that race. Well, it backfired in Spain. Can it work well here in Canada? Let's find out. 5 red lights are out, and away we go to the Canadian Grand Prix. It's a good start, better than Ocon. As well, having a look at Hamilton down the inside. Hamilton is on the hard tyres as well, so this is a good chance to see what our pace is against the Mercedes, but we're unable to get past them at the start. And really, we're now left with a proposition now where we've got both Alpines behind me. Sort of really trying to chase down me, but they're too busy fighting themselves at the moment. Really, can we get away from them? That's the question. But Gasly on the outside of his teammate Esteban Ocon as well. Ocon gives him the room to be fair as well. Gasly is actually through as well. But obviously this is causing a little bit of a DRS train, and one person that's DRS train is Logan Sargent. His Mercedes engine has decided it doesn't want to carry on anymore, and he is out of the race with an engine failure. Well, but his teammate Alex Albon's having to go down the inside of, I think that's Lando Norris, the first of the McLarens. Norris able to defend though from Albon as well. Meanwhile, we're letting Gasly go. Again, it's like Spain all over again. Letting the driver behind past in that middle DRS zone, because what we get here is the double doubts. I mean, now we've actually, because the DRS zone is so low, we can actually dive for him at the hairpin as well. Take a bit of a wide line and right. Ocon to have a little knock as well, trying to play both Alpines off against each other, and it's actually working a treat in terms of defence. Because now Ocon is the Alpine that's in front of Gasly, and Gasly doesn't have DRS to fight back, because of course you get DRS down in both of these straights. So this defence is working absolutely beautifully. But now we try on lap 5, brake a bit early, try and get this exit right out of here, and use the ERS. We've got plenty of ERS left. We don't need to be doing any Pacific stuff, and it's not as long as the straight in Spain, because you've got obviously that corner. So we're able to defend. I think we've got the straight line speed over Ocon to be able to defend on both straights really. So this is fantastic news for us. It means that we're not losing time to Hamilton there. We can actually focus on Hamilton. In actual fact, Gasly's going to come back at his teammate again. So playing both Alpines off of each other is working well in terms of defence. As well, Ocon, Gasly unable to get past there. In actual fact, Stroll's at the inside of Gasly there, and Stroll is on the hard tyres as well, like me. You know, we don't want really Aston, we don't want the Alpines to stay in front of Stroll for the constructors really as well. But I'm asking at this point, but laps times to Lewis Hamilton, but it doesn't matter, Mark, because the first time in this career mode, our engine has failed. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. We've had an engine failure at a crucial time in the, well, not a real crucial time in the championship. We need to keep scoring points to keep it in front of Aston Martin and Alpine really as well. But at last, the Ferrari engine has decided otherwise on that one, and that's it for this race. Verstappen winning again from Sainz, so Verstappen is way out to front, and to make it worse, Alonso got P6 somehow. You know, his AI came through from 13th in that DRS range to get P6. Stroll finished P7 ahead of Russell, P8. Two Alpines getting 9th and 10th ahead of Norris. Fortunately here, then Magnussen not having a great race down in P14. So, I mean, the Drivers' Championship, just like in real life, is pretty much already over because Verstappen has a 46-point lead. Constructors now, we've lost down to we're back down to P5, really. Not good. No, we were looking good for P4, but Aston Martin may be going to bring their A game. They'll be one to look at the next Grand Prix at Austria. Now, in terms of the rival, we've got no points against, well, we've got 1 point against Lando, so we have a 2017 lead still, thankfully from other reigns. However, because we retired, we lost a claim. Like, how is it my fault that we retired? You know, I shouldn't be losing a claim for a retirement that's out of my hands. You know, that's a mechanical failure. But there we go. I mean, that's just the game for you. We have got those 640 resource points. It keeps saying it's an issue with our Sashi. It's definitely not an issue with the Sashi. It's actually an issue with the energy store, this one. This one. Which is a little bit weird how that failed. You know, because the energy store has been one of the best, most reliable components. The second most reliable component after the control electronic. It's not the end of the world because we've got that component from that Baku race that we took. The engine extra penalties, but you know, where we were looking to be ahead of Alonso, maybe get points back for Spain, for losing points out in Spain, that has not happened here. We might have to be resigned to the fact that we've got to try and make sure we get both Haases in front of Stroll for the remainder of this season. So yes, that's what I'm going to leave it for today's episode. If you have enjoyed what was that race, what racing we had, leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. See plenty more F123 Drive videos as they may come out. Until the next video, I'll see you next time. Take care, enjoy your day, and goodbye.